Hello everybody, my name is Layla. Thank you very much for joining me for this video. This is a very short introduction about formal letters. I hope you find it helpful. When do we write a formal letter? Let's look at different situations and hopefully that'll help us in answering this question. Let's say, for example, we have booked a room at a Hilton hotel and maybe we were not happy about the service that we received, we were not happy about possibly the room that we had booked. In that kind of situation, we would write a formal letter, maybe a letter of complaint to the owner of the hotel. A different example, let's say we've done some shopping online or in store and we're not happy with the product maybe, or maybe we just want more information about a product that we're looking for and we have not been able to find it. In this situation also we would write a formal letter. Let's say we've been to a restaurant and we're either not happy with the service or the food, or perhaps again we want to ask for more information, or maybe even we want to get a job at that restaurant. All these situations and many more are when we would write a formal letter. Other examples are if you want to write to the landlord of your home, to your child's school. Maybe you want to write a letter to your boss or manager, or maybe you want to write a letter to a bank, hospital, police, maybe an office. All these are known as formal places. So who do we write a formal letter to? We write it to someone in authority, someone who has a certain status of where we're writing to. So that would usually be the boss or manager. We would write maybe to colleagues or co-workers at a place, but we would write a formal letter to colleagues and co-workers because it's a formal situation. If we want to write to a chief of a company, an owner of a hotel, a restaurant, maybe a police station, maybe an administrator of a hospital, all these situations are when we would write a formal letter to that person in authority. So what language is used in a formal letter? Well, formal letter needs to have formal language, and that's very important. If you want your letter to be noticed, it needs to have the correct language. Now in this video, I'm just going to show you the very basic of language that we would need in a formal letter. So let's say, for example, you want to start your letter. You would start it by saying, "Dear Sir or Madam." Specifically if you don't know the name of the person you're writing to. You would never start by saying, "Hi Joe." "Hi Joe" is very informal. When you want to start a formal letter, you start with "Dear" and then either the name of the person or "Sir" or "Madam." When you end the letter, we would end it with "Yours sincerely" or "Yours faithfully." We would never write "See you soon" because that's very informal. If we want to ask somebody to do something for us in the letter, maybe we want them to reply to the letter, maybe we want them to send more information, we would say, "Would you kindly send me information? Would you kindly reply to my letter?" We would never say, "Do me a favor," because that is very informal. So in a formal letter, what is actually discussed? Well, we discuss formal issues. Let's say, for example, you have bought a TV and it's either broken or it doesn't work or you're not happy for some reason. You want to complain about this product or you want to complain about the service. This is where you would write a formal letter. Let's say you want to request more information about a job, you want to know a little bit about the job itself, the company, the salary, how much are you going to get paid, any benefits, a little bit maybe about your boss. This is where you will write a formal letter again. Let's say you want to go on a holiday somewhere, for example, and you want to know more information about the location or maybe the holiday place or a product that you want to buy. You want more information, you would write a formal letter. Maybe you have already written a letter and you want an answer, or maybe someone has written to you and you want to answer them back. That's called a follow-up. And when we're writing a follow-up, again, we use formal letter to write. There are many different types of formal letters. One is a complaint letter, and we've talked about this just now. It's when you're not happy about a product or a service. You would write a complaint letter. Another type of formal letter is an inquiry letter. This is where you want to inquire or ask for certain specific information. Maybe about a job, about a place, about a product, about a service. You want specific information. You would write an inquiry letter. Maybe you want to write a recommendation letter. A friend of yours has just found a job and they need you to write a letter to their boss and tell the boss how your friend is suitable for that job. That would be a recommendation letter. Maybe you want to write an acknowledgement letter. You have received a letter from somebody and you just want to write back to say thank you, I've received your correspondence. This is where you would write an acknowledgement letter. Maybe you're a salesperson and you want to sell an item or sell a service. This is where you would write a sales letter. This is another type of formal letter. Or maybe you want to resign. You want to tell your boss that you do not want to work at that place of work anymore. This is where you would write a letter of resignation. And these are all different types, the most common forms of formal letters. Now, in all formal letters that we write, we start the letter the same in all of them. If you know who you're writing to, you would start with dear, and then Mr., Mrs. or Ms. and their family name, their surname. So maybe dear Mr. Jones, dear Mrs. White, dear Ms. Olson. And we use Ms. here because we don't know if the lady is married or single. We use Ms. This is when we know who we're writing to. Sometimes we write a letter and we do not know who we're writing to. We do not know the recipient. This is where we would write dear sir or madam, because we don't know who is going to read our letter, a man or a woman. We would write maybe to whom it may concern, dear company director, dear hotel owner, maybe dear hospital administrator, dear bank manager. Any of these, we can use any of these if we do not know the recipient of our letter, who is going to receive our letter. At the end of the letter, in a formal letter, we close it. If you know who you're writing to, you would end your letter with yours sincerely or just sincerely. If you do not know who you're writing to and you started your letter maybe with dear sir or madam, or maybe dear bank manager, you don't know the name of the person you're writing to, you would finish your letter with yours faithfully or just faithfully. And that shows that you've written the letter but you don't know specifically who is going to read it. Okay. So I hope that you found that very short tutorial helpful. There are more tutorials that will be coming soon. I will be posting videos once a week on YouTube. Please do subscribe so that you can get in on these videos, and I'll be posting videos on all different skills: writing for academic purposes, writing for non-academic purposes, reading, listening, speaking, grammar, vocabulary, all of these. So please do subscribe and you'll be able to get those videos as soon as I post them. I would love to hear comments, suggestions or opinions from you. Please do include that and I'll be reading those carefully. And thank you very much for watching this presentation. I hope it has been useful for you. Okay, so I'll see you here soon.